Welcome to World Cinema Reviews. This is Frank the Vamp, and tonight we got a very special issue of World Cinema Reviews because we're talking about a guilty pleasure. Like I said, once in a while I like to see American movies, sometimes horror, sometimes adventure, sometimes romance, anything, and sometimes I like to talk about it. And the film that I went to watch recently was uh, the Maze Runner. So Maze Runner, it's a 2014 film that literally, surprised me. You guys are familiar with so many books adapted for teens. We're going to talk about we can think about successful ones such as the Twilight series, the Harry Potter series, of course. More recent ones such as Divergent and The Host. And well, basically, it's all about teens, and Hollywood seems to be grabbing all the rights to these books, and it's rushing into adapting them into this formulaic weird thing. Oh yeah, don't forget the Hunger Games, which I actually have to admit that I actually do like, believe it or not. Um, it's not particularly great, I think, but I like the sci-fi aspect of it. But boy, when I went to see this, I had very little expectations, and man, was I pleasantly surprised with this one. It's a sci-fi film that has elements of horror, and if they would just tweak it just a little tiny bit, and make it a little bit more gory, this could be like a pretty cool horror film. I think that's for sure. I definitely did enjoy the adventure, the action, the mystery, and the sci-fi of this film, which I just gotta let you guys know. Well, let's talk about what it is. Maze Runner was directed by Wes Ball, starring Dylan O'Brien as Thomas, and Will Potter as Gally. So and many other kids, of course. So, but I wanted to talk about these two because those are the two that really caught my attention. Um, so the movie starts with this kid just freaking out, waking up inside this box crate thing that they raised up to some kind of platform. He gets up and sees that he's sort of in a cage in a box and can't get out, and there's all sort of people staring at him, poking at him, making fun of him, talking to him, talking at him, basically tell him that he's some kind of weird animal thing. He doesn't know why he's there, we don't know either. They let him out, and he finds out that he's this part of this really weird, I don't know what it is. Could it be called experiment? But they don't know why. A whole bunch of kids, they don't know why they're there. They're only male kids. They range in teenage years. There's no older adults there, and they seem to be dropped there alone. And basically, they're the place where they drop into is this, no, big courtyard thing where they surrounded by these gigantic walls. The gigantic walls lead into this maze where they can't get out. They can't. They're kind of trapped. If they try to go into the maze, as he later finds out, um, he there's deadly things inside that could literally kill them. In fact, they only go there in daylight time. If they go at night and the thing closes, the door of the maze closes at night, they are literally dead. They will not survive. There's just too much threats there. And he's very curious, this Thomas guy. By the way, when he comes in, he doesn't even remember his name. 2 or 3 days later, he's told that everybody remembers their name later on, and that's the only thing they remember. They don't remember how they got there. And you got this thing where Thomas wants to just get to know everybody, but he's really curious about what's in this maze. He wants to beat the maze. He wants to find a way out. And because it's really tough for those kids who are all they survive on the supplies that are sent to, and this maze is really weird, shifting forms and shapes. And that's where I'm gonna leave you. Where I really want you to see this movie and experience it because it's really cool, man. You got like it's total sci-fi. And like I said, with horror, it's there's scenes at night or in the maze where these creatures chase the kids, and it's really it could be horrible, even terrifying. The fact that they don't know where they are. You kind of feel for these kids who they really are just trying to survive, sort of Lord of the Fly style. And it's actually the sci-fi parts, the special effects are quite decent. um, I would say that the idea, the plot, the acting of these kids is great. Thomas does a great job, and Will Powder, which is you may know him from Where are the Millers, or the Narnia movies. He's also been the son of Rambo. A very very little known independent film where he actually about a little kid that plays that makes a movie about that Rambo has a son that goes to rescue his father, something like that. I seen that movie so many years ago. But the kid has grown up into this very fine actor where he plays the antagonist who's always trying to discourage Thomas, is not to be too inquisitive, not to be too curious, just follow the rules, not break anything. And man, he plays a really, really, really cool sort of antagonist villain type of thing where he's trying to poo-poo every idea that Thomas has, and sometimes and kind of forming his own fashion there, where the kids get divided. I like the fact that they're teenagers living with serious problems. I think it's fast paced. It's hardly slow. It's hardly slow at all. I mean, even though you would think that, there's the getting to know the kids part and all this stuff and humor and things. No, man, the thing keeps you guessing. The ending is far out, man. The things and the premises, I do not dare to read the books because I want to know. I found the story really captivating, the acting pretty good. This is a nice adventure movie with some twists of horror. Please watch this movie. This is not freaking Twilight.